You're listening to the Akinfemi Onadele Show, where we believe in today's fast-paced world, investing in your overall well-being is the most important decision you can make. Join us alongside a variety of guests as we discuss topics empowering you to become the best version of yourself. Enjoy.
Welcome to TAOS, where your well-being is your ultimate currency. I'm your host and co-founder of Homely, Akinfemi Onadele, and it's a true honor to have you tapped in with us. It means that you take your journey to well-being seriously. So today's episode, we're going way back. It was recorded in October of 2021 at the height of the lockdown. And so we talk about dealing with the fear of death, anxiety, and an uncertain future. Join me and my guest, Senami, my wife, then girlfriend, as we explore the global pandemic and how it affected our mental health and overall well-being. Before we dive in, remember, inspiring well-being every day is our mission. Do enjoy the episode.
Okay, so let me ask you. So you said things about, how you were sunken, if you were down and all. What exactly did you suffer during the lockdown? Like, what were those things that you could say, oh, you know what? Like, for example, for me, I suffered weight gain.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we were home.
Yeah.
I wasn't working and all. Right. So we were just eating and sleeping.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, my body was perfect. So I didn't think that I even needed to work out,
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been on a diet for like 10 years.
Wow, that's a lovely diet.
Yeah, no. It was like I was trying to maintain my. So I stopped sodas. Yes, diets actually work because it helped me maintain myself, right?
We'll get into that another time.
So
I don't really have to.
but man, COVID just hit me, and the next thing, I gained a few pounds, which I am still struggling with till now to lose. Like, people see me and be like, "So I mean, you're so fat now," and it's not like I'm fat, right? I'm just voluptuous. Like, you'd see me on a normal day, you never say I'm fat, right? If you didn't know me, but because people knew me before, I knew I was slim, and then now, you know what it is now. So that was majorly what I suffered. So tell us, what was specifically that you suffered? Yeah,
I think the top two things, like I said, was failing to protect my mental state and having to, fix that, and then failing at empathy. These things, you sort of fail your way to success, if you ask me. From my reflections and everything, the mistake keeps coming until you say, okay, oh wow, this is happening, and then you change. Empathy is now like my superpower. It helps me with work, it helps me at home. You can imagine now being stuck in the same place with your family and you don't have empathy. Like I said, I already gave you claims of what happened on social media where I'm like, oh, yo, guys, positive thinking now. Or like, if you don't become a billionaire after this, and people are like checking me, like, people are checking me like, what are you talking about? Like,
people are losing their lives.
Like, people are scared, already. I'm like, okay, what day? See yourself. What are you talking about? Like, can you see? And I'm good. It was a good, slap on the cheeks. Like, guy, it's
like reality check.
You don't know what's like. A lot of people, you figured out this little area, but a lot of people don't even know what's going on. So, and that helped me because it probably took some months for it to become my normal way of thinking, empathy. But man, did it help me, especially at work. Just understanding that, okay, I sent an email, somebody has not responded in one day. Don't get mad. Like, do you know what this person is going through? This person probably dragged themselves out of bed and stuff like that.
Some people even lost their families during this period, so you can imagine.
People lost their families. People are like still tuned into that same news I separated myself from. Although I suffered it for like a week and it took time to sort of change that pattern of thinking. Yeah, there was definitely, those are the two that come to the top of my head. Relationships will obviously suffer if you don't have empathy. As well.
Okay. So, what did you learn during this period, and who helped you get through it? Because did you do this all alone, or did you have people around you that kind of helped you get out of this?
I think it all started from me changing. Like I said, like Eckhart Tolle, for instance. When I watched that video, I only watched it once, but the message got there, and then I had to do the work. Make sure I stay clear of things that would bring me down.
Okay.
I had a friend who I used to talk to every month, Mekus, shout out Mekus. And one thing that we did that helped is that we read a book called the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu.
Okay.
This is the book. Everybody who knows the yin yang symbol, that symbol, this book is based on that symbol or vice versa. And us, it's like, I guess we created sort of a reading club, right? And us being able to talk about this, that book really helped me find like the peace within myself first. And that also helped me like also develop my empathy. And once I was able to develop my empathy, all the relationships with the people I was seeing it just improved.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So shout out Mekus, right? Definitely.
Okay, so you've said this already, right? Well, I wanted to ask how you've transformed because of the whole COVID experience, but I'm guessing you became more empathetic.
It's not like, so let me say this real quick.
Okay.
Right? When I say how I've transformed, I would say that COVID was just it's basically that the journey just started. Because it's just a lot. This show, right, is going to really address our misconceptions. Like I said, we learn more from failure than we do from success.
Okay.
Let's just say that like we've been failing at a lot of things, and COVID really makes us challenge our values, right? Is it really about the money anymore? Is it really about the ambition? For me, another thing I learned that was really valuable, for instance, is the relationships I have, right? The relationships are the real money. So where I used to put money as a value, I've kind of put relationships, right? So my transformation is like my values have changed. More empathy, more loving, more value of relationships and people around me, right?
That's interesting. So at the end of the day, what did you learn? What did you find out that your needs are?
My emotional needs, right? My mental needs, how they are prioritized, right? Definitely making me spend less because I now really understand what is important to me. And what is important to you is what you sort of spend on. Or if you feel fulfilled in that area, you may not have the need to spend. So being isolated for that period sort of just showed me who I am and what's important to me. And it kind of forced us to try new things, right? It really forced us to try new things. For instance, with these 7 pillars of well-being I've mentioned, I understand that if it may be a fool's game to try and make sure all those pillars are high at the same time.
Yeah.
But for when you know yourself, you may realize, okay, just this pillar, maybe physical, spiritual, and mental, it may be for whoever it is what's important to me. And I need to keep those ones as my core always high, maybe scoring very high on those. And while the other ones, just keep them at like an average pace. But you have to build the awareness. That's what it is. So the transformation is more awareness about what do I need? Asking the right questions like, what do I need to feel fulfilled? What do I need to enjoy my life? What does well-being look like for me? This is not something that came naturally to me before.
So something just occurred to me while you were talking about, you said information, and you kept talking about a certain author.
Yes.
Or something you'd listen to the information. So what was that information that helped you during the
two
COVID
things?
period?
I would say 2 things. So that video from Eckhart Tolle definitely helped me.
Okay.
And
what was the video about?
He was just he released it during the COVID and saying like, focus. This is a beauty. When your outside surroundings, right, is looking in chaos, it simply means that you need to go inside. The answers are within. And then that's kind of led me to the Tao Te Ching, which both videos are on YouTube. The audiobook was on YouTube. That video was on YouTube. So I read the Tao Te Ching probably like 3 times. When I say read, I listened to it. And the book just literally is about 30 something chapters, literally just giving you like ancient Chinese wisdom, but it's something that has always existed. Really, I think that information, obviously there are other things, and if you tune into subsequent episodes, you definitely I'm going to share as many of these gems as I can. Not just that, obviously talk to people and see what worked for them, what didn't work, because that's the only way. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this financial thing I'm talking about. Is one of the things we just have to do. Do you understand? Let's talk about all these areas. Some people are going to be better than others. But once we have a community around this, once we're voicing this at them, we're going to all like level up together.
Yeah. Okay, so before COVID happened, I'm sure there were like some things that were really important to you, but I'm sure that has changed. So like right now, what is the most important thing to you right now?
What's the most important thing to me right now? It's my well-being. I'm not even gonna lie. Because once I show up like as my best self, I'm in a better position to help other people show up as their best selves. And that is value. That is the value. It's not really... Look at me, like, do you know that I used to wear my best clothes in the house during COVID? Like, my mom is like, this guy, are you going somewhere? I'll wear my trad like as if I'm going for a wedding, ready to turn up extraordinary. I mean, like, I was just like, it didn't mean nothing anymore. Like, so I actually started wearing my best clothes in the house to feel good. Or else I should be looking at them. Like, I was literally wearing my mad trads every day, like, giving them. I didn't wear my sneakers. I mean, I love sneakers, but my clothes, I was buffing up in the house every day, right? I was buffing up. Nobody like I was buffing up, right? And I like dressing up, but I couldn't dress up because I wasn't good. I mean, you can say that I wouldn't dress up because I'm not going out. I can
see you like dressing up, and that necklace on your neck, fantastic. What gemstone is that?
This is bronzite.
Bronzite.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And
you know, like I was wearing my stuff. And I'll do my office work at home like nobody. You see, that's not a kind of thinking that I had before until I changed my mindset to prioritize my well-being.
That's fantastic. That's good. That's really good. Like you discovered yourself during this period, and that's a gift on its own.
I think it started. I'm not going to say I have
fully discovered yourself. It was the beginning of the journey for you.
The beginning of the journey. I'm not going to say like I want all of us to get on this journey together and let's figure out things. Like I'm not here with solutions.
So guys, he's saying y'all should just hop on the show so you guys we can all we can all think and we live in a wisdom
economy. We can all together we can figure these things out. Like no, we're not trying to say that the people who came before us have done it for us. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so I have 2 more questions for you.
Right. Okay.
Now, so what do you think are the 3 biggest takeaways from this episode?
Gotcha. Number 1, we have to cultivate a new mindset.
Okay.
And this mindset is your well-being is the most important thing.
Okay.
Right? And this means what you focus on attracts. Your mind is like a magnet. So once you change that from whatever paradigm, mindset you had before to well-being is the most important thing, everything changes.
Okay.
Your results change. And in my example, you can see like the media I was focusing on was a huge thing. Once I stopped looking at the news and death and everything, I started focusing on going within and the books and audiobooks that helped me go within. Everything changed. So you need to figure out what yours is. The second thing, we all received gifts during COVID. So once, and I guess it related first. So when you change to this well-being mindset, you can reflect on what your gifts of COVID was or where, as the case may be.
I know my gifts of COVID.
Don't say it now. We're going to bring you on your own episode. It's going to be a fire episode. I already know. And it all starts from asking the question, what does well-being look like to you, right? It helps you change mindsets. And the third thing is, I would say, which is basically the premise of everything we're doing, is if we can talk about it, we can begin to make sense of it. Awareness.
Deep.
Awareness.
Deep.
It's even deep. It may be pseudo deep. I may be for me deep.
Yeah. To be deep, when you move to the left and you move to the right, you need to realize that the middle is still there.
Let me say, it's about the delivery.
What?
It's about the delivery.
I'm like, what?
Shout out to my homie Hanson. He said something, and I knew this is about delivery. This is what he said. He said, it is suicidal not to brush your teeth and wear your face mask. You see, it's about the way you say it, but it's like
I'm like, brush my teeth.
That's some contemporary wisdom, right? It is suicidal. It's like
it's actually suicidal.
You see what I'm saying?
I believe it's suicidal.
It's suicidal.
Because imagine the germs and everything you be taking in, and after a while you get sick and then you die.
It is.
Is that deep?
I don't think anybody's dying for that. My point is, it's all about the delivery of the wisdom So for me, those three things, the new mindsets, reflecting on the gifts of COVID for you, not just focusing on how the world was coming to an end. And the third one, if we can talk about it, we can begin to make sense of it. I think those are my three takeaways.
Thank you so much. So
thank you.
Before we round up, do you have like any last words for your fans and your listeners?
Do I have any last words? I mean, guys, you're my friends. Let's talk about this. And I look forward to hearing from you. But I have to shout out Lara, Kesiro, Craig, you have been wonderful, my executive producer. Honestly, what we have lined up for you guys is nothing short but of our best. I don't want to oversell it and say it's spectacular, but we've worked really, really hard. You know, we have really, really big goals, for sure. Then secondly, I want to thank you. You've pushed me so much. Thank you for even doing this. You pushed me up to the moment we pressed record on this episode.
Very welcome.
So thank you, Tsunami.
Very welcome.
And those are my last words.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. That was the Akinfemi
Onadele Show.
No. I said that was the Akinfemi Onadele. He's the Akinfemi Onadele that owns the Akinfemi Onadele Show.
Thank you so much.
So I hope you guys will be listening more often because there are lots of people you want to learn a whole lot of things from. As you heard him say, he said he has planned a lot and you don't want to miss it.
Definitely.
Okay. Till he comes your way again. All right, guys. Ciao. And stay well at every point in time.
Stay well. I've got a question for you, my dear listener. And the question is, what are your gifts of COVID? What blessings came into your life as a result of COVID? We want to hear from you. So use the hashtag TAOS gifts of COVID. That is hashtag TAOS gifts of COVID to send us a message in our comments. We look forward to hearing from you. And thank you so much. It really means the world to us that you tapped in with us today. Thank you for liking, for sharing, and for subscribing. You are truly an everyday hero that's helping us to push the message of well-being out there. And until next time, peace and life's richest blessings.
Thanks for listening to the Akinfemi Onadele Show. Check out www.akinfemionadele.com for more info, articles, and ideas about how to boost your well-being.